How goes it, everybody? Welcome back to Patterson Properties. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day. Today, we're going to be talking about two great cities on the good old East Coast when it boils down to it. Cities that a lot of people are actually moving to, contrary to popular belief. And I'm talking about good old Baltimore, Maryland, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Because one of the biggest questions that's actually out there is, what are real estate investors going to do if there's a series of evictions in 2021? We have already seen a series of anti-eviction protests in the Portland, Oregon area, and I'm sure it's going to spread throughout the country, as time persists. I mean, it's December 16th, 2020 now. We're basically half a month away from 2021, and, the new year is still very, very uncertain. Now, for the most part, we see our economy with the United States of America moving at a very snail's pace for the majority of society. I think in Europe, it's even moving that much more slower, especially given the fact that they have a lot more lockdowns going on. And it's moving very fast for a very small minority of society. However, there are about two cities that I would, like I said, I'd like to talk about that are on the East Coast that are only about 2 hours from another, give or take, depending on the traffic. If you grew up in the DMV area or in the Baltimore, Philadelphia area, you know what I'm talking about. I mentioned these cities because they are within like I said, 2 to 3 hours radius of Washington D.C., or as the actual pronunciation of it is, the District of Columbia. All right, now the cost of living in the Washington D.C. area has become very close and similar to go to New York City, New York, and Los Angeles, California. As of 2019, the median price for a detached single-family home in the Washington, D.C. area is about $800,000, and for a townhouse is about $700,000. The median price for a condo or co-op unit also rose to about 0.6% to $483,000. 20 years ago, it's hard to believe now, but hey, in 2000, 20 years ago, one was lucky to find a property in Washington, D.C. for about $150K to $200K at a lower end, and at $350K to about almost up to $400K, roughly $390K at the higher end. Now, when it comes to Baltimore, Maryland, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, one can find a decent townhome, or they call them row home, between $70,000 to $200,000, depending on the location of the city. Now, with Baltimore, the prices are even much lower depending on the part of the city. You can find a property from $1,000 to $15,000 to $80,000 or $100,000, just depending on the situation, what part of town it is, the structure of the property, the maintenance that's needed for the property. The list goes on and on. However, I guarantee this, by 2023, Baltimore will be close to as expensive as Washington, D.C. Within the next 7 years. Philadelphia is already projected to be as expensive as Washington, D.C. Okay, at the end of the day, it's all about location, 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 family. Okay, and I just would like Washington, because the thing is this, just like Washington, D.C. is the epicenter of all the aspects of government, no matter if it's, local, federal, local, state, etc., nonprofit and corporate organizations. All right, that's definitely Washington, D.C. Philadelphia and Baltimore have a direct connection to all of that politically and economically, especially given the fact that these cities are hours away, unlike most major cities within the United States of America. If there is an eviction, well, you can count Richmond, Virginia. If there is in Tidewater, Virginia as well. If there is an eviction crisis, and I can throw in Delaware too, but Wilmington, Delaware, but that's not as big of a city. Okay, but it is what it is. But hey, if there is an eviction crisis across the United States, then I know that a multitude of investors will swarm, and I mean they will swarm both cities of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Baltimore, Maryland, like an attack of the killer bees for years and years on end to come, family. Okay, that's how it's going to go down. and if you don't believe me, do your research, do your homework, go there and see, put boots on the ground, and just see for yourself. And if you have family and friends, trust me, they're going to tell you the same thing, and even with more detailed information because they're actually there. The pandemic has forever changed the landscape of the world. It has. Especially the U.S. economy, and definitely changed the landscape of how people look at real estate. There's another prediction that condos and townhomes in major cities will have a higher vacancy within the next few years because the quality of life is in the big cities has gone down tremendously in 2020. Basically, most people want single family homes because they're spending more time in their house. So before people continuously complain about gentrification in big cities, now is the time to buy in Baltimore and Philadelphia before it's too late. So you've been fair warned. That's all I can say. And those are cities that I have specific interest in all at the same time. But yeah, there's a big movement. There was the big movement of people moving to the major cities. Now it's a big movement of people moving to the suburbs and rural communities because the whole thing is, if you can work from home, why do you need to live in a cluttered city? If you can work from home, and if you're going to work from home, you need more room, to be able to work in privacy for your kids, for your spouse. You might need a place to work out. Most of the things, you want to be in a comfortable space. Especially, the life of living in the major cities is kind of, for a lot of people done because of, especially like a city like New York, if you can't go out and do anything and have any fun. All right. So it's an interesting time, and hopefully my real estate investors and wholesalers and everybody, or people that just want to live in a major city, take advantage of it and look at Baltimore, Philadelphia as a place to invest and reside and thrive and make better cities all at the same time. So on that note, contact Patterson L Properties today. If you are a wholesaler, if you are an investor, if you are a person with a distressed property and you want to get rid of it, I'm always in the market to connect and engage on a regular basis, because that's what I think 2021 needs to be more about. Us engaging with one another, whether we're going to do business or not is irrelevant. But having those quality conversations, having those just getting to know each other is what it's all about. All right. And as always, family, remember, you can't get fired if you don't own the company. If you own the company, it's 2021 and it's time for all of us to own something. So on that note, do the great 3 free things: like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. And as always, family, make money moves. Take care.